We're here. The cursed Mountbatten house. You know what people say, right? People who have come here before have never returned. Are you sure you're not scared? Excuse me, I think I've made my point. I'm here, aren't I? Now, let's go back. Nora, you didn't even get inside. Wow, this place is at least 100 years old. James, I think it's going to rain. We should go. Come on, we just got here. Nora, I think you're right. Let's go. William Clifford is a well-to-do businessman from Boston, Massachusetts. For some time now, he and his wife, Laura, had been searching for a home a little away from the city and found this beautiful house by the bay in Rockport. They snatched the deal at an auction for a very good price. And after having the place renovated, the couple moved in with their two daughters, Amelia and Olivia. This is my room, and this is my room. As Amelia and Olivia went about exploring their new home, William and Laura got unpacking. Looking at the view of the bay nearby, the couple were more than content. This was the perfect home. The first evening, William got to work, getting the electricity lines and phone and TV working, and Laura managed to fix up the bedrooms and stir up a pot of chili. Mom, there's a swing in the backyard by the garage. Can we check it out? That's not a garage. That actually used to be a church. Oh wow, that's interesting. Can we go, Mom? It's time for bed, girls. You can check it out tomorrow. Good night, sweetheart. Sleep tight. Good night, sweetheart. Night, Mom. That night, the family went to bed snug and sound, and soon fell asleep. Is everything all right, honey? Yeah, just going to get some water. Amelia, is that you? Who's there? Amy? sleep with you?" "Why, what happened?" "I'm scared." "Of what?" "I don't know, there's something about that room." "Are you serious?" "All right, but only for tonight." The next morning, while the girls were out and about playing, Laura got to work organizing the house. Apparently, the girls had a hard time sleeping from the noises in the attic last night. So Laura thought she'd clean out any bats or rats up there. But to her surprise, she found something far more intriguing. Wow, must have belonged to the previous owners. As Laura looked through the old furniture and a trunk of clothes and other items, she called William. "Bill, can you lend me a hand?" "Sure." "What is this stuff?" "I think it belongs to the previous family. These pictures are from the 1920s. The Mountbatten family. They were royals. This used to be their vacation home. Back in those days, this area wasn't so developed, but now it's part of the city. We got really lucky with this house." Laura looked at a picture of a beautiful young woman. A signature on the back. Elizabeth. Is this the princess? Princess Elizabeth. Don't know about the rest of the family, but I think she got married into the Windsor family. They're still around. Laura took out some dresses from the trunk and a small diary. All of this must have been hers. Diary of the Half-Blooded Princess. Laura kept the diary aside. She would read that later. But the whole day went by doing chores. It wasn't until the following afternoon Laura got the opportunity to open up the diary again. "Are you reading that diary?" "Yes, and you won't believe this, but the entries just broke my heart." "Why?" "Everyone desires the life of a princess. A beautiful, sophisticated, classy life. But Princess Elizabeth's life was everything but easy. In fact, it seems she was suffocating in this house. Her family didn't treat her well. She always felt alone and miserable." "What do you mean her family didn't treat her well?" "She writes about being locked in her room. She wasn't allowed to read or write. None of her siblings played with her. She wasn't allowed to meet the guests or go out. She wasn't even allowed to eat at the table with the rest of the family. It all seemed so strange." "Well, you know how people were back in the days, especially royal families, their mannerisms and etiquettes." Everyone seemed to be coping well into the new environment. As night fell, the family had dinner and went to bed. But it was sometime around midnight again. Amelia woke up to her door creaking. "Olivia, is that you? Please, can I sleep with you? It's scary in my room." "What is so scary?" "I don't know, there's something." Annoyed by her little sister, Amelia got out of bed and grabbed her hand. "What is it?" Olivia slowly followed after, watching nervously as Amelia opened the door. But it was the moment Amelia looked inside. Suddenly, she froze. She couldn't move. Her legs failed her. Her body failed her. She couldn't speak a word. Amelia? Suddenly, the door slammed shut. And Amelia fell to the floor as her body began having seizures. Frightened by its sight, Olivia yelled out for her parents. "Mom! Dad!" Laura and William immediately ran out. What happened? Something's happening to Amelia. The parents were horrified seeing their eldest daughter on the ground. How did this happen? Olivia couldn't hold back the tears as she said, "There's something in the room." After Laura and William kept shaking Amelia and calling her, finally she came to her senses. As Laura took her daughters to the living room, William curiously went to check the room. But as the minutes ticked by, and William didn't return, Laura got a little worried. Just when she was to check on him, William walked out and looked directly at them. There was something in his eyes, in his posture. "William?" And then the strange voice sounded from him. "Leave this house right now." Laura was petrified, hearing a feminine voice. She knew it wasn't him. There was something in this house. Laura immediately took her two daughters and rushed out to the backyard by the church. It was raining heavily, but she barely managed to sit Amelia on the swing. "Mom, what happened to Dad?" "Don't worry, Dad is fine." But Laura knew William was far from fine. He was possessed. But by who? Remembering the entries from the diary, the pictures of the family she had seen, she could only think of one person, Princess Elizabeth. But she got married and moved out. How could her spirit be here? But that's when Laura suddenly remembered. Another one of the pictures, where Elizabeth was with someone else. There had been a different signature on it. Victoria. Diary of the Half-Blooded Princess. Was Elizabeth this princess, or someone else? The Mountbatten family was very well respected and among the most prestigious in Rockport. Everyone knew and honored Sir Arnold Mountbatten, but what no one knew was that his family had a dark secret. Sir Arnold Mountbatten's firstborn, his eldest daughter, Victoria, had always been a little different from her birth. She was mentally unhealthy, and neither Arnold nor his wife Charlotte could truly accept her. In fact, as the days passed and Victoria grew up with her obvious condition, the family became more embarrassed of her. Sir Arnold feared Victoria's condition would cause the family shame and damage his and his other children's future and reputation. So the Mountbattens always kept Victoria away from their family gatherings, from guests, from the public eye, never as much to even take a picture with her. Arnold and Charlotte never allowed Victoria to play with her siblings. fearing she may be contagious. Charlotte grew up isolated, without a proper education or social life. And most of the time, she would be locked and chained in her room. And eventually, things came to the point where the Mountbattens almost erased her existence. But as the years went on like this, Victoria and Elizabeth, their second daughter, grew into womanhood. Arnold and Charlotte began arranging for Elizabeth's marriage. The Windsors are a very elite family, Elizabeth. You have to look your best. As Charlotte prepared her daughter for the evening, the prince's family was to come. Victoria noticed them and spoke out. "When will I get married?" "Like anyone would want to marry you." "Why not? I'm older than you. I've grown into a fine woman." "Fine woman you are. Now go to your room and don't come out. Your sisters-in-laws will be here." "Yeah, don't embarrass yourself. And don't embarrass me." That day, Victoria was locked in her room as the party went on outside. The music played as Elizabeth danced with her prince. And in just a matter of weeks, Victoria saw her younger sister wed off and sent to begin her new life. Victoria was heartbroken. She wanted a life of her own. She wanted to experience happiness. But in this home, with this family, she felt like a prisoner and unable to bear the depression. Victoria took her life. Bury her in the yard by the church and keep silent. And it was ever since the death of Victoria Mountbatten, this house seemed to get cursed. One by one, all the members of the Mountbatten family mysteriously passed away. No one knew how it happened. But the Mountbatten house soon became known for its strange curse. People feared the place, calling it haunted, and eventually the house was abandoned. Until 10 years ago, a young couple came to the house to explore. When they didn't return, the two were reported missing. And about 3 days later, the young man was found lifeless in a devastating condition, and the young woman unconscious in the house. Though she was rescued just in time, something wasn't right about her. It seemed she had lost her mind, always afraid of something, unable to say what happened. And eventually, when the young woman was admitted to a mental asylum, news spread in town about the strange incident, and thus the Mountbatten house came into the notice of the government and came into the possession of the Clifford family. Realizing what might be the case, Laura knew if she didn't do something, William wouldn't survive. "Girls, you stay here. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back." Gathering her courage, Laura left her daughters and went into the house once more. With every step, her heart raced as she called, "William? William?" In the darkness, Laura noticed his figure, but she heard her voice. "Go away. I told you to leave." I know who you are, what you want, what you always wanted. William suddenly began laughing as his arms and legs started to twist. Laura closed her eyes, hearing his bones begin to crack. Victoria, it's you, isn't it? You always wanted a normal life, a loving family, but you were wronged. You deserved better. But William is my family, the father of my 2 daughters. He hasn't wronged you. Please let him go. Let us go. As soon as the words escaped her lips, everything fell silent. From the darkness, William came towards her. But the minute Laura saw him, she was petrified. Suddenly hearing her mother scream from the house, Amelia was panicked. She okay? What was happening in there? Mom? Olivia, we have to go. Olivia? The following day, Amelia's body was discovered by some men traveling by the Mount Matten house. She's no more. Check the house. William and Laura were found lifeless inside. But the youngest member of the family, Olivia, survived what seemed like a horrifying night. The House of Victoria wins again.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.